Hey guys, Colton here from the EV Kingdom, and welcome to part 3 of What If Raven Raised Yang and RWBY. Got that on the first try, nice. Anyways, hey guys, how has it been? Hope everyone had a good Halloween. And I hope you guys enjoyed this part 2. Now, in the last part, I had to go over everything that happened again, and just to refresh myself. And what happened in the last part was, as RWBY got invited to Beacon, Raven was supportive to RWBY, but also ripped into the Ozpin and about it, mostly worried about her daughter. I also went into more detail about what happened to Raven and her tribe, while also explaining why in the world I went with Raven already being the Fall Maiden, or Spring Maiden, early in the series rather than later on, and went through all of Volume 1. Now, a lot of people have made comments, and also a lot of people made recommendations for what ifs. To all of those people, I have them written down. I just need to go over details with them first. Anyways, we come back to this what if right at Volume 2. Now, Team RWBY's just enjoying life, having the food fight, and then still get the idea to go trying to figure out what's going on with the White Fang. Now, there's a difference here because Yang doesn't know the people in that club, so she doesn't really have a source. All due to the fact that Raven is at the house and also watching them through the window, which RWBY wouldn't know, nor would any other member of Team RWBY. Yang, knowing her mother can turn into a bird, and probably seeing her do it a few times, would be able to recognize her mother from any random Raven outside. But not saying a word about it due to not really wanting RWBY to figure that out. There are some secrets still within the family. The bird secret is staying with them. Also, I'm looking into my book where I wrote down ideas for this what if, and it turned out a lot different than how I actually done this series. So, growth. But yeah, Yang doesn't really have that contact, so I think they'd go with RWBY and Weiss to the tower. So Weiss does actually get to spend time with Neptune, so win for her. And honestly, yeah, nothing else would change, but I do believe, since I already mentioned that, while everyone's getting around and RWBY's getting her game, Raven and would notice Yang opening the window for her, and yeah, Raven turns him in, they talk, Yang mostly wondering what's going on and why she's there. Raven not wanting to tell Yang about Ozpin's secret war, but also wanting to be honest, just a little bit. She mostly says she's keeping an eye on her daughters, making sure they're safe and aren't in anything too dangerous. Where she also mentions that she overheard their plan, but putting trust in them, she's not gonna interfere unless it's necessary. So yeah, Yang does know they have Raven, and if something happens. Now, all of that, I still believe would happen the same. Hey, RWBY being closer to Penny than the other members of Team RWBY would go chasing after her. Yang would stay with Neptune and Weiss. Lake would still give them the call. They'd all meet at the bridge. Now, I did recently rewatch that scene again. Or at least did it when I was rewatching through RWBY. Yeah, Neptune and Yang really played a part in that. I think it would still lead to the same area, but Blake and Sun would have to do a lot more in order to do it. So they're a lot more exhausted. But they get there, RWBY would be coming up with some combos. And working well with her team. Their teamwork would definitely have improved in the last volume till now. We at least know they had some form of summer vacation. And so, yes, their teamwork has improved. And the fight would go down the same, except for a few things being different, like Yang also having a sword, and RWBY also being more strategic with her attacks. We actually hit onto a topic. A person in the I looked through my comments, and the last part, the first part, I believe. And yeah, I'm gonna mention it now. Yang doesn't have that experience of almost dying trying to find her mother. Blake isn't gonna get that wake-up call all here. Or at least right now. No, Blake still has the same thought process as before. Yang, however, doesn't have the same experience. Her mother's always been home. Yeah, she knows about her time in her mother's tribe. Yeah. But yeah, Yang doesn't have that experience of overdoing it. So she can't really help Blake out in this. So the dance would happen, and I think it took a lot more convincing from Yang and RWBY. Of all people. Well, it would be a lot harder, and Blake wouldn't have the wake-up call, but she would at least go because her friends are asking her to. And she doesn't want to be a jerk. But right after that, Blake's gonna go back to her original thing, which will have some consequences. But that actually leads us to the next big part of this volume. The entire invasion. It's basically what happened, so yeah. I'm gonna call it the invasion. Team RWBY go to the abandoned town. Everything goes as accurate as possible. They talk. RWBY falls. Now, Raven not wanting her adopted daughter, her daughter, to not fall like Summer did, would at least teach her some other things, like the importance of not just relying on your weapon. And we've seen Raven at least fight without her sword, using her maiden abilities to create a weapon as well. But before that, we'd have to assume he would at least know some hand-to-hand. Or at least he's agreed with Ty to have her learn more hand-to-hand to balance herself out. She would still be captured and basically in the situation she was in before, but she would at least get a few good shots in trying to escape. The rest of the Team RWBY join Blake not having the wake-up call and also being way more exhausted due to it, would rush in trying to get Roman in out, or at least take Roman out. Not doing the best, as they all get aboard the train, and RWBY fights on top of the train with Zwei and the Professor, Oobleck. Yang fights Neo, which this would go a little bit differently. Along with, Weiss still fights the guy. I don't think I ever learned their name, so yeah. And Blake still fights Roman, but as I mentioned, she is way more exhausted and tired. You're basically living the situation Yang didn't live in this what if. Now, Blake is obviously gonna get saved, but I will get to who saves her later. Because all these fights, I believe, are happening within the same amount of time. So yeah, Yang's facing Neo. Neo's still having the upper hand, being the better fighter, but Yang also having a sword would at least make her take Yang a little bit more seriously. She's still gonna win, but Raven comes in and Neo, like in canon, runs away. But instead of Raven running, she looks at Yang saying, yeah, this is time. This is the moment I'd step in. So she actually joins Yang, they fight, go to the next car, help Weiss out, and then go to the main car, where Yang blocks the blade. Roman's attack with her sword, and now it's a 4-on-1, which Roman knows he's gonna lose, so he basically gives up. They still will crash into the town. All that happens. Raven's here, so she can also provide support, or being a professional huntress still. She doesn't use her license, but she still has graduated, so technically she still is, she just doesn't use it. So yeah, that would basically go the same, just with another person fighting. Now, RWBY, after the fight, would mostly be hugging her mother, asking her how she got there, why she's there. Yang not really wanting to tell her little sister about Raven's secret. She says she probably sensed that Yang was in danger while she was facing Neo, used their semblance, and got there right away. Which technically is true. Raven was a bird, but she can't really get there through flight. Trains move faster than birds. So yeah, technically not a lie. Just not mentioning that Raven's been watching them for a while. Raven's checking on RWBY, making sure she's safe, and also checking on while talking to each member of the team. A little bit awkward around Weiss due to possible past history. Not directly, but keep in mind, Bandit. There's a possibility they raided a Schnee dust company in supply, ain't she? Shipment or something. So that's a little bit awkward. Well, Yang talks to Blake. And Blake having that moment of, yeah, and maybe you're right about me not, well, taking it easy every so often. And they honestly just have a moment. And here is where Blake has that wake-up call. Well, as I was trying to get at. Actually, almost dying due to her own exhaustion and trying to find where Roman was anyways. He's even at the cost of her health. Yeah, it would really sink in. And for her this time. So it happened a lot later, but it still happened. And I got a little while left to go. So I can at least go up a little further. We now will get into the first part of Volume 3. And yeah, I'm only going for the first part, and that's before or the fall of Beacon happens. So yeah, just stick with me for a little bit longer. Now, obviously, Ruby would still go visit her mother's grave. Raven would also be there, paying her respects to her best friend. And they head to Beacon for the tournament. Now, Raven, being more supportive and also unsuspicious about Osmond, stays there. Here, so she's actually watching the tournament from the sideline. Alright, and watching everything going on. The tournament rounds would basically go the same, but Raven would also be picking up on unsuspicious activity, like, for instance, the fight between Team Coffee and Team Cinder. She would notice that one of their members is talking to themselves, and would note that. The fights would still go. Raven, Yang, and Ruby would honestly celebrate making it to the finals. Raven sharing stories about when Team Stark were in the Vital Festival. You have to at least think, and at some point they were in the Vital Festival. Oh, so yeah. They just trade stories, laugh. Blake and Weiss are there. They're having a good time. And then the Yang fight happens. And yeah, Raven's instantly entering Mother Grizzly mode. And protecting her daughter. Also getting in trouble, but then she would instantly tell Ironwood to knock it off. She's my daughter, and I know for a fact she wouldn't hurt anyone on purpose. So, and also I think she would mention at this point that it might be someone's semblance playing a trick on her. She would ask Yang what happened. Yang would tell her, along with everyone else. Raven would tell this to Ironwood, and not having much information, but also Raven's right there, and let's be honest, she is intimidating. She's not even using the maiden abilities, and yet she is still intimidating. The Penny Pura fight happens next. Raven is basically talking with Ironwood, trying to get her back, out of being self-arrested. And the fall of Beacon happens. Now, it went a lot longer than I was originally going to, so expect more or in the next part where I'm gonna finish up Volume 3 and thinking about it. a lot is gonna change in this latter part. Mostly due to the fact that Raven is actually here. A lot will happen, and yeah, we need to discuss this, but that will be next time. I hope you like the video, like if you haven't already, and share with others so they can see in the stories. Yeah. And subscribe so you never miss another video, and comment literally anything, and I do read them. And till next time, I'll see you all later. Bye.